What's up, guys? I'm Brandon.
And I'm Brian.
And this is Totally Stupid Behind the Scenes.
We are starting a new behind-the-scenes episode sort of thing where we're going to show you the basics of how, and the breakdown of how we came up with the idea, how we went through the effects for our previous video, Brian, You're Not Superman.
First off, the whole entire idea was created by somebody, actually me, called you up and I was like, Brian, we need a Superman costume. And you said, all I got is a Mario costume, to which you responded.
I only have a Mario costume.
And that would work. So that's how we
did
started
that.
our video.
So instead of making Superman fly, we made Mario fly.
Why not?
He's a superhero, I guess, kind of.
Basically.
Yeah.
All the dialogue was improvised. We actually didn't have any scripts at all or anything to go off of because there was no real idea to start with. So basically, we just kind of wung it?
Yeah, I guess wung it. Is
We
that
wung it?
past tense? Winged?
Wunged?
It. The first effect breakdown would be the slow motion. We used an awesome After Effects plugin called Twixtor that we were able to get, and even though we shot it on 24 frames per second, and it's pretty less frames to work with,
Now, granted, we did shoot at 24 frames a second because that's what cinema cameras shoot at, and it does look more filmic.
it looked nice.
Now, we're going to get to the actual effects of this. Starting off with the jumping effect. Now, there are many different parts that go to the jumping effect, but the part I'm going to talk about is the turbulent displace tool. What that does is, after we get the person to jump in the air, you'll notice a little shock wave. That is due to turbulent displace. All you have to do is drag it over the clip, go ahead and set a keyframe in and out and how much you want it, and it'll do the rest for you. Make sure you set your center right on the person so it looks like it's coming out of the person.
And it looked like this. And then with the jumping part, the actual jump was once I got to the highest point, freeze the frame, crop out, place an empty video clip of the same sequence underneath it, and then I look like I'm still in the frame, but I'm not really in the frame. So at that point, you can make me go up by keyframing me at the first position, keyframing me out of the frame. So when I jump, it looks like I'm moving upwards, even though I'm really not.
Now, one thing you do want to make sure you do is actually use real footage with real moving objects in the background. You do not want to use a picture because it is very obvious.
Pictures will look very different.
Very two-dimensional looking.
They'll look fake.
Up next, after we get Brian to jump off of the ground, we made the cracks disperse. Now, how we did that is we actually took a picture of cracks, literally Google Images, type in cracks, and all you do is take it, make it to a 3D layer, turn it flat, put it on the ground, and make sure you use a blending mode to make it look like the same color.
And then for the smoke coming off the ground, we got one of those from After Effects. After Effects is fantastic for doing anything action-y.
It's so fantastic!
It's essential for action shots. And we also made the camera shake. Camera shake, it's not really shaking. The whole thing was done on a tripod. Actually, it's on the back of my car. We just set it up there. But so the camera shake, once I jump, make the camera move a little bit. It like a wiggle. You type in, it's alt-click on the position, pin whip, and you type in wiggle, parenthesis, 5, comp 5, end parenthesis, and you get this nice little moving thing.
Now that is
It'll look
one way
real.
to do it, but there is another way, and we'll show you right here. Getting to the actual flying part, we started with a big sky image, like really big. And we pushed it back in Z-space and scaled it up to the frame size. And once we did that, it actually looked like the person was actually in the air.
But before we did all this, I stood on a green screen with my hand in the air, just shaking it a little bit, making it look like the wind was moving.
Like you just didn't care. Like you just didn't care, Brian.
True. And then that made me look like I was flying. These green screens are awesome. Like this one, I guess. You can see the green screen.
Now up next, we had to make it look more 3D by putting clouds in front of the person, and so that was very important. So we used the plugin Particular. We created a foreground to make the clouds look more realistic and help cover the edges of the effects. Same with the things coming off of his feet, which kind of looked like a really shooty, bullety, kind of smoky kind of deal going on.
Unrealistic, but it looked cool.
But it looked cool.
Looked awesome.
That's all that matters.
And that's bringing up to our next point, color grading and lens flares. Make it look all fancy. No, it's not realistic, but it looks nice. And we just drop in a little music clip, actually from Superman, and it looked awesome.
There you go. That's all we got for today. First episode of Totally Stupid. Thanks for watching. See you next time.
Hopefully we'll have this video up Monday, next behind the scenes next Friday.